Okay guys, welcome. Method we have decided to use is the taros, right? So we're going to start, modeling this bike with that method. But before that, okay, before we start using that method, I want to get part of the inner tube first, okay? I want to get part of this inner tube, so that we can build the rest around it, okay? When you first start modeling, you're not going to have bike inside like that, okay? You will have just the reference image right here. That is what you will have when you first start working on a project similar like this, or any project. You just have the reference. Let's turn it back on. Come up here, the creation menu at the shelf, right? The top here, we have all the tools for creating stuff. So we want to get a tube. Let's get tube. Let's place it somewhere roughly in the middle of this circle, because that's where the tube is going, right? So let's place it right there, somewhere like that. Okay, so we have a tube, and it's right here with the old bike. Don't worry, we will be able to distinguish between these ones and the old bike. Okay, let's name this front inner tube underscore 2, because we already have that name out here at the object level. Okay, and I keep the tube so that I will know that I started the geometry with a tube. All right, this object was started with a tube. That's how my naming convention is for this bike. You don't have to if you can figure it out easy. It's up to you. Okay, cool. So we have a tube created in the scene, and we can see it inside all the viewport. Modeling, you have to look around, you have to see how it's aligned in the front, top, and all that stuff. Most cases you won't need it, but for the beginning, placing stuff and aligning stuff, you need it. So what we would do is we would change the shade. Okay, come to material. I already have some material set, so I'll use the bike material and I'll drop it. So from here, right out at the object level, we can manipulate it, we can move it around, we can rotate it and do most of the basic, transformations. So anytime you create something, you have these basic stuff that you can change, translate, rotate, scale, and all that. You will talk about pivot. That is when you want to rotate something and you want it to rotate around certain area. The rotation happens around certain area. You will see it because we have a similar situations where, the bike, here there's an opening thing that I apply something like that. I have to switch the pivot to a certain area to be able to get it to rotate from that angle. Okay, so we will get to that point when we get to that animation. Okay, cool. So we have created a tube inside here in our scene. So let's jump in. Okay, so you come up here in the creation tool for this object. We have polygons. You have options to select different types of geometry. But let's go with polygon. And because the axis, the orientation, we see that it is by default on the y-axis. That's why it's going like that. Let's go to the x. We have options. Let's go for x-axis, and it will flip it. See, so we got it flipped. We look here, we see that it's somehow within where we think it should be, but it's way bigger and it's very low in columns and rows. It's very low. So if we look here, you can see that it's almost like a couple of lines joining. You don't see that circle thing going on. So that's when we come in, we add more columns. Okay, so let's go for like 24. You know, if we go way higher, it will be hard for you to work on it. Okay, you don't want to go way higher, and you don't want to stay lower too. You know, and still have very low geometry. You know, that will not give you the curve we need. So I think 24 is reasonable amount, even though it's still not giving us that perfect smooth circle. Let's see, let's push it up. You see, when you push it up way higher, you got that smooth circle we need, but it's a lot of, you know, stuff going on. If you want to like push vertices and edges around, you're gonna do a lot of work, you know. So let's stay with 24. Okay, cool. So 24 kind of give us that smoothness, but for now it's bigger. It's bigger. This is the tube in here, so let's match it. You know, let's try to get it like closer here. But let me show you one thing that I said. I already promised that we're not going to do expressions and everything like that. But for now, I just want to show you just one thing. I want to scale this thing to get smaller. I can use the regular radius scale. Okay, we have it here, and it's by default is 0.5, right? We can bring it down and scale this to get like smaller, you know, like how we want it. Even though we don't see it here, I will show you how we will see it. Okay, so we can use that to get a scale we want. But I want to show you something real quick. So let's go back to 0.5 for this one. And here you still have radius. So you will say, how come it's 2 radius? Because it's a tube, it's giving you 2 radius to control it. That means that you can control just one side. So if I come in and I use the ladder and I start controlling, you see only one side is what is being controlled. All right. So you have that option, and if you control this side will remain the same. But in case you want to, you know, control this side and this side also being affected, that is what I want to show you, the trick to use it. And it's basically part of Houdini basics that I think you should know. If I copy this values, if I copy the perimeters, right, that is the numbers over there, right? If I copy it and I come here, because most of the time if you want, you work on this side and you want this side to be the same, you copy from here and you paste it here. But that is when you are done. What about if as you are working this side, you want the effect happening on this side? So this trick will do that. You come and you paste and you say paste relative reference. What is that going to do is whatever you do here is going to affect the other side too, you see. So we are getting both sides being scaled. So we don't have to finish and copy this side to the other side. You know, both sides are what? Both sides are being copied or being affected at the same time. Okay, cool. So we have something like this, but we don't see it here to tell us that we have it where we want it. Okay, so let's keep it for these numbers for now, and let's see how we will be able to see here, because this is where we will be able to align it better. You know, we see it here, but you don't see nothing. So let's come up here, get out from the 2, right? And let's go for like edges. You know, we still don't have no operation affecting the tube we created. It's still just the tube. So this operation we are about to do will not even affect it either. So we just want to select this whole tube, right? So now you can see it. You can see that, you know, the selection is telling us that we have selected this in the view, and we can, you know, clearly see that it's not at the right position for us, right? It looks like it's still bigger. So let's crack it down small. Okay. Let's get it a little smaller. Maybe over there it's okay. we still don't have nothing affecting it because we are still messing with the default, transformation. Now, if we call, because we can tell that it's not in the middle, if we want to introduce the move tool will give us what? Edit, So you guys already know how, stuff starts to join your geometry. So we have edit. Now we can move it, somewhere like that, to see that we have it in the middle or something. Okay. So cool. We can get out from the edit. Now we have some alignment going on. We're not satisfied, but the view is very small for us. Okay. So let's come to camera and let's select the perspective view and jump in there and see what's going on. Okay. So it's not bad. We have it inside like kind of where we want it, right? So at this point, we can even hide the rest of the stuff and just have a better look at the tube. Okay. So this tube we have is still very tiny. We need to get it some thickness. Okay. So let's come here, get out from edit. Let's select this whole thing. Okay. Let's select because we want to work with the polygons. All right. Let's get a little out, get polygons, and select the whole thing. Okay. Let's call for poly extrude. Okay. Because we want to give it some thickness. All right. Let's come up here and let's mess with the distance. See, now we get some thickness going on. I think it's okay. You don't have to get it, these movements, we are not getting it exact numbers as the old one, but it's fine. This is telling you how, the step-by-step how I did it. But the numbers might change and, don't worry about that. You can see that the inside is what? The inside is open. So we already know that we have options for that to close it. So let's close it. Let's make it nicer. Boom. So now we have the inside. So one cool thing about the poly extruder you will explore later, you have some options going on. You have just something like this and you start changing stuff and see how they work. So outside, let you open the outside of what you have created. Okay. So that is what these options are. See, it's like self-explanatory. You could tell, what it's trying to do for you. The front, so that's the front. And now we can let it go and have it open. Okay. So basically that is a little in depth on the poly extrude. So let's continue. We have this tube, right? And we're not like completely satisfied, but we want to go. And it's not bad. So let's get out from poly extrude. Okay, click outside, deselect. And what we want to do, we want to get edges. So let's come from the polygons to the edges. Okay. Okay, let's get these edges. Boom. Let's get the bottom one too. Hold shift down. Get that. Let's get the other side too. Real quick. Hold shift. Get it. Because we are adding them to the old selection we already have. And adding, you have to hold the shift to add. And when you want to take out, you hold control. Very easy. So we got them and we want to apply what? Bevel to it. So let's go for it. We have bevel. Let's come inside bevel. We want to mess with the offset, give it some beveling. So we come here and we start cracking it down, give it some bevel. Now, we can even go further because we want to like get this whole edge wet, like rounded. So this is not enough. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I think probably there is fine. Okay. But we still see that it's very chamfer. The default is chamfer. So we have this angle. It's not giving us the round thing we need, right? So you come in and you start looking. Why? Maybe there's an options. Yeah, it's options. You come in and we have solid, crease, chamfer, round, and profile. We'll get to each of them, but for now we need round. So let's get round. We have round, but it's just one edge going through, so it's not giving us like the round we need. Let's add some division. All right, so we have 3. It's not bad. We will keep it like that. Okay, cool. So you can see that we have some smoothness and some beveling going on the edges, giving us that round shape we need. Okay, so cool. So we can get out from the bevel tool, click outside.